this is only 0.5% of how people feel in much worse circumstances. I'm living in my nice flat overlooking a beautiful day in London, and I've got food in my fridge, and I can pop down to Waitrose when I want to, and it's not that deep. So that's what I try and remember. You know, like, all the animals, you know, like, I don't eat meat, and we love animals. We talk a lot about it, but, you know, like, animals they live their lives in captivity, you know, like, because us humans decide that that's what they should be doing. And, you know, there are people who are stuck in Syria right now being bombed left, right and center, and there are people in Yemen or Sudan, or, you know, like, and we're complaining because we're stuck in our flat for 3 weeks, and we can only go out for a walk a day, you know, like, it's just not that deep. So I think that's what I do when I try and get in my head. I just give myself a reality check, like, there's way worse things, it's temporary, and just take the lessons from this.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Go on, Al.
The way I keep myself in check is just by reminding myself, okay, it's a temporary situation. Like, it came, you know, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, no one could have predicted this situation, right? So it could.
Although Barack Obama did.
Did he? Oh, interesting.
Bill Gates also conveniently did, but hey, that's another story for another day.
But like, I think it was predicted through the way we were living, not through this particular thing, if that makes sense. So
right.
I think remembering that it's temporary, and then any thought that we bring up within ourselves, be it a thought of like, you know, oh, I really miss hanging out with this person, or I really miss doing this thing, or I really feel really anxious today because I'm not earning money, or I've lost my job, or I've been furloughed, or all of these things that are happening. Like, that thought and that feeling about that thing is just temporary. Like, that feeling and that thought can change in the next moment. And I think as long as I can remember that for myself, I kind of check it in. And, you know, even like what Ciara said about reality check in terms of like what we're still living day to day is nothing compared to some of the stuff that's happening in, you know, less developed countries and places all across the world. So, you know, we're still in first world countries, and we're still living in very fortunate situations. Again, that's not everyone. There are people who aren't living in such great circumstances in, you know, London, America, Italy, Spain, whatever. But I think for me, it's like looking at my life, because that's what I'm experiencing, right? And that's what's causing me grief and pain and anxieties and worries, is what I'm living through. And when I keep myself in check about that, and I say, look, I'm stood in my bedroom, I'm having a wicked conversation with two amazing people, and I'm overlooking the garden of my parents' house. Like, my life is, like, what am I worrying about? Like, I've got the food on the table, I've got a roof over my head, I've got a comfy bed. I'm still being able to do stuff that I want to do. Like, there's so many more people who are suffering through the virus and through other things happening in the world. It's like, yeah, it's just a nice check, isn't it? To be like, should I really be, you know, feeling this, or should I just allow it to pass?
I think also, sorry to butt in, Sinead, because I know you need to say your point. But I said when this first happened, I think just human nature, any sort of change is unnerving. So I think it's getting a grip on yourself and understanding that it's just the fear of change. It's just the fact that it's a bit uncertain. Naturally, like, even before I go on holiday, I get a bit like, like belly flutters sometimes, because I know that for the next 2 weeks, I'm not going to be in my flat doing my routine and stuff. And it's like that. I think when we realize that actually it's just because things are a little different temporarily, it's easier to absorb that anxiety. Because I think sometimes you just get feelings of anxiety and you don't know where they've come from. So I think it's just like speaking it, like having a conversation with yourself is important.
And we're so lucky
Sinead,
that we can still go for walks, because I actually remember speaking to your brother, Ciara, Dom, about sometimes I can feel lonely even before the quarantine because I live on my own. And I remember messaging him, and he was like, I feel most happy when I'm walking alone. He was like, just take a walk. And we speak about this all the time, Ciara, change your environment. We're lucky that our lockdown allows us one form of exercise a day. I went for a walk before I did your class today, Ciara, because I was like, I need to do something before midday. I can't have that be the first thing I do. And it was just glorious. And it's like, it's not the best field in the world. It's not Hampstead Heath, but it's an open space and it's green and there's sun. So my answer is the same as used to's: gratitude. This could be so much worse. And changing up the environment when you need to. Like, of course we wake up and we're like, why should I shower, and things like that, but you just have to mix it up and always choose gratitude. Because that's another thing, when you were saying about being uncertain, every day before this was uncertain. Every day we could have died. Every day we didn't know if we were going to make the meeting in time or say the right things. But it's because we're being told, no, you can't go outside, that we're like, oh my gosh, what's life going to be like now? But becoming comfortable with uncertainty, I think, is the key to life anyway. So this is a new way of challenging us to face that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
challenge.
yeah.